Malibu represents an iconic coastal town that is world-renowned for its surf, recreation, and beaches, and that is at risk due to a reduction in sediment supply from the construction of highways, dams, and coastal armoring that have changed the way sediment is delivered to the coast.
We've had erosion problems for the last 5 years or so, where we started losing some of our historic structures.
The iconic wall at Surfrider Beach is a little off because of erosion.
It's a combination of wave action during storms, and also king tides exacerbate the erosion. We are losing some of the beach, so that's a long-term concern.
State Parks is working with Integral Consulting to evaluate a nature-based approach or a living shoreline to reduce this erosion risk. So a living shoreline approach uses a historic ecology perspective and geomorphology to identify what parts of the system are missing. In this case, sediment, sands, cobbles, driftwood.
The Adamson house was built here in the 1920s, but we're also at the site of the Chumash ethno-historic village of Malibu, which is where Malibu gets its name from. And then kind of more recently, we have the surf break with Surfrider Beach, and so we have all of these things kind of coming together at this important site.
Erosion in Malibu is caused by 3 issues. First, the change in sediment supply from Ringe Dam and development up coast. Second is that Malibu Creek, for a variety of reasons, tends to flow to the east and lowers the beach in front of the Adamson house. This allows waves then to come in and start to erode the cultural resources, historic Chumash village site, and create issues that are requiring emergency responses. This Living Shoreline project is intended to buy us time while State Parks figures out how to remove Ringe Dam and restore the natural flow of sediment.
Once we remove Ringe Dam, then the natural sediment will be allowed to return to the coast, and that will help control the erosion in this particular area.
This Living Shoreline project is still being designed. We don't have all of the details figured out, and your voice matters. We are trying to understand local community concerns about beach recreation, about surfing impacts or benefits. Can this project be improved? To better understand the local perspective, we've dropped in with longtime local surfer, Cassia Miador.
I've been on this beach since I was 15. So for the last 26 years of my life, I've grown up on this beach, and there's so many of us who have. It's an iconic break known all over the world as a premier right-hand point break. There's so many different pieces of the puzzle that have to all organize to make a beautiful wave like Malibu break. Bringing back sand dunes, it makes me think about beach grass, and those are kind of like these webbing systems that hold everything in place. So when we do have a severe rain event, we have some kind of natural deflection to make sure that the creek goes out where nature would have intended when those sand dunes and other things were in place. So it sounds like there's a lot of opportunity.
There's a real opportunity to hear from the community about priorities, and we'll be having a series of meetings, site walks with community members to understand what concerns that they have that the project may cause additional harm potentially, or what else could be a benefit if we add it.
Historically, coastal armoring has been used to protect from erosion, and coastal armoring fails. And there's examples of failed armoring all over Malibu Surfrider. Part of this project is cleaning up that mess. One thing that I've learned from the locals is there's some errant rocks that are in the lineup that cause problems and injuries routinely. That's something we've identified and are going to try and get out as part of this project. I want to know what other opportunities, what concerns that adding cobbles and sand and how it could improve the situation and certainly cause no harm.
When I think about these kinds of nature-based approaches to erosion, I think of, what's the fatal flaw? What's the worst thing that can happen? And we have put native cobble material back on the beach and some sand and maybe some driftwood. And all of that's going to continue moving down coast in the sand system. It's just going to provide more cobbles that could be pulled off and put back in the reef.
Right.
So I don't see a fatal flaw.
Okay. I don't see a fatal flaw either.
This project was initiated following an erosion response by LA County where they placed very traditional engineered rocks to try and stop erosion. It impacted beach recreation, beach access, and caused an outcry in the community. So state parks wanted to come up with a different approach that was more appealing, and that is this living shoreline approach. Erosion is affecting this place, like many places in the world. And this project is about trying to find a local solution that uses nature to protect all of it.